Hello everybody, this is T with Kate's Crafty Closet, and today we're going to make a really clean and simple Easter card using just a few products, not a whole bunch of them, and I'll do the best of my ability to link everything that I use in the description box below. So let's go ahead and get ourselves started. So this is what I did beforehand because I attempted to make this card and messed up really bad. So this is a die from Lawn Fawn. This is an inside out stackable Easter egg die. So I cut the bigger one out of some Neenah Desert Storm, and these two were die cut from some pages from this mixed media paper pad, which I believe I got at Walmart, but you can also get on Amazon. It's scrapbook paper, so it is a little bit on the thinner side, not super sturdy, which is not a big deal. You just gotta be very careful with it when you're die cutting it and taping it down. So this is another piece of Neenah Desert Storm cardstock. This is the 100-pound version. I just cut this in half, but 4 1/4 down lengthwise. And what we're going to do is, before we get started, we're going to put our sentiment on there. And this is a sentiment that I've used before. It's like Happy Easter from this Tailored Expression set, which I've had for a while. And it's still on my little Fiskars stamping platform. And I am going to I'm going to line this up on my mat, and I want to stamp it down there in the corner, just because it's easier for me to do it now than it will be once I fold that over, because it'll be popping up on me. So this is easier. So I'm just going to ink this up, lightly tapping it with some VersaFine Clair. This is the Pinecone, which is a deep brown. So we're going to do our best, keep that lined up. If you have some sticky grid or some temporary adhesive, you can hold that down. And I'm going to do my best that I get a good impression the first time. I'm holding it there for a second just so it to transfer to the paper. And I'm happy with that. Yes, very happy with that. So, with that being said, we're going to bring in our scoreboard, and we're going to score this at 5.5. So we need our bone folder, and just be super careful. Press down firmly, but not too firmly, and go slow with thicker cardstock because it tends to slip. Okay, and then we're just going to fold it over where our sentiment is on the outside, butt it up against there, and then grab our bone folder again, and we'll crease it down. And if it's off by anything, I'm okay with that. I can trim it down later. So I'm happy with that. So we're done with that. So we're going to bring in our eggs and kind of see where we want to put them. So the first thing I know I want to do is I'm going to paper crimp this. So if you have one of your handy dandy paper crimpers from back in the day and you put it away, grab it, pull it out. And I'm just going to stick this in there any possible way it'll go. However it goes, I'm okay with that. So there we go. We have our, and then I'm going to go ahead and glue the, I'm going to glue that other piece with the rabbit. The rabbit is from a different set. Like I said, I pre-did it earlier when I was trying to tape this. And like I said, it was an epic fail. This is a stamp set from SugarPea Designs that I've had for quite some time. It's got some sentiments and a giant Easter on there. We're just going to use the bunny, and I did that in the same ink that I showed you in the beginning, the Pinecone from VersaFine. So I'm just going to, of course, you know my glue never, ever wants to work when I am on camera. So I'm going to unclog it. And hopefully it works the first time around. See if that works. I try not to use, this is coming out so fast lately. So I'm just going to use my finger tool and wipe it off on a baby wipe that I have over here. And I'm going to go ahead and put this on here. Like I said, that paper is thin because it's scrapbook paper. I'm gonna hold it for a sec. So that's perfect. Give it a moment, and while we're doing that, we're gonna put some foam squares on the back of this, just to give this one a little bit of dimension, because we're gonna put some ribbon around that, and then we're just gonna have to cut these in half and learn from me. Do it while it's still on the release paper, otherwise it has a tendency to catapult itself across the craft room and you won't find it till it's stuck to the bottom of your shoe later on down the line. So has that happened to me? Maybe it has. All right, so I'm not going to put the ribbon on there yet because I want to make sure where I want to place these at, and then once I figure that out, and I'll do that. So we got that, and we got, I think we're going to go, that works for me. So we know that's going to go there, so we're going to glue down the little one. Okay, and you're going to go right there. Perfect. Then I'm going to pull off the release paper. My least favorite thing to do when it comes down to foam squares, but that's okay. We'll make it work. All right. Whoops, ripped it, but that's okay. Come on. All right, so we're gonna bring in that organza ribbon. It's like a brownish beige color, and I'm just going to, I'm putting more on this side than the opposite side because I want the knot to kind of go somewhere in the center, but I'm going to cut extra off because you can always trim it down. And then we're going to adhere this to the front of the card. And kind of, all right, and then we're going to do a faux bow. Like I'm not tying a complete bow. Like I'm doing my best here to keep that tight so it's a decent, it's really taut to the card itself and not too bulky. And if it is, we can just put down a little bit of glue and see, I struggle. This is like, even as a faux bow, I still struggle. Like, how many of you all struggle with bows? And like, yeah, bows are not my friend. They really aren't. I'm just tying basically like a knot, you know, at here to make it look like a little faux bow. And we can fix it a little bit, not a whole lot, because remember we have foam squares underneath that. So I'm just going to trim this pretty close to the end of that knot, and it's like, and that pretty much is, that pretty much completes the card. Y'all wouldn't believe that this clean and simple card was a struggle earlier. You wouldn't believe that, but that is our card for today. If you want to ink up the edges, I would ink it up with something a little bit lighter, like say this like some vintage photo, which I thought I had close by to me, but I don't. You can ink up the sides of that if you want to, just to kind of pull in the eye, but I'm just going to leave it just like that. So I want to thank you all for joining me. Make sure you check out the store at katescraftedcloset.com. Use coupon code SAVE5 to save $5 off of your order of $25 or more. Make sure you check out our Facebook group. We do some chats and crafts together, usually once a week, sometimes maybe more, and do some lives as well. So all that will be linked down in the description box below. Thank you all for joining me today, and have a crafty day, y'all.